Welcome to the Shannon Talks Yarn podcast, a podcast for the yarn and crochet obsessed. If you're wondering if this podcast is for you, it's for anyone who's obsessed with yarn, who can't get enough yarn, or if yarn is your special interest. It's relaxing, no drama, wholesome content, and you'll also get some behind-the-scenes YouTube production information. You can expect some solo podcasts, some joint podcasts, and also some interviews. I started crocheting because it looked like a cool hobby. I didn't really know much about it. I didn't know much about yarn, but I saw other finished projects that other people made and thought they looked pretty cool and thought that I could definitely accomplish that too, even though at the time I had no idea what actually went into it. But I fell in love with the hobby, and about a year ago, I ended up starting my YouTube channel. And I mostly started that as a personal growth opportunity. And with that, it became something where I started meeting tons and tons of new friends in the yarn community and found out how wonderful everyone really is. It's, for the most part, pretty non-judgmental, very welcoming, and everyone is very helpful. So the relationships have been a huge blessing for me. But as far as the personal growth, I also wanted to branch out and not just have my YouTube channel. So I have started a blog. It's in the beginning stages. And of course, I have like the Instagram and the Facebook account. I did also start up a Ravelry, so very basic on some of those. But I really wanted to do this yarn podcast because sometimes you just want to listen to something. Sometimes you can't watch, and that's the bad thing. Like when I'm doing dishes and I'm watching, say, my friend Kristen Crochets do a weekly update, I can't see what her temperature blanket looks like when I'm doing dishes. So it's for those of us who want to get some yarny content but just want to listen and can't really watch. If you'd like to know a little bit more about me, I am a Gen X empty nester and I live in rural Iowa. So for me to go buy yarn, I'm usually looking at about a 45-minute to an hour drive. In the past, I was a hairdresser. I worked in a career center where I helped people write resumes and help them apply for jobs. And I am currently a receptionist full-time. When I learned to crochet, I was 40 years old, and a friend taught me. At the time, I believe my friend was about 59 because she said she learned to crochet when she was 9. And she'd been crocheting 50 years. So she has been an excellent tutor for me. And even today, if I have any type of question or concern, she is always right there and available to help me get through any sticky situations. Getting started on YouTube is always intimidating, but I had known I wanted to do that and had a couple videos I had actually even recorded and edited, and they were just sitting on my phone. So thankfully, I have a friend who cares about me and helps push me a little bit when I need that push over the edge. And she actually was starting a channel as well. Hers is in a totally different niche. She is a massage therapist, and she does a lot with sound therapy. So she has a very cool channel that's in the beginning stages where she does these beautiful crystal singing bowls, sound bowls, and she can play those in a therapeutic way. So my friend Lisa did help push me over the edge and get me started on YouTube. Once I did that, I was watching other people's videos, and it took me a little while to get the guts to actually reach out to anyone. But the first person I started talking with was Erin from Crafting Kitty, and she was just fun and really delightful to I was just glad that I reached out to her because she was very welcoming. The second person that I reached out to was Erica from It's Time for Yarn. And I noticed in her video that she had a spaniel in the background that was very similar to mine. And once we reached out, really hit it off. And we have done a couple collabs after that. I've also reached out to Leah Crochets, and she has been just a really fun and inspirational person for me, and she has like the most beautiful southern voice that you can imagine. And I also had reached out and started talking with Kristen Crochets, and with both Leah and Kristen, we have done some group collabs, and we have collaborated with each other together. I'm recording this the middle of March of 2023, and at this time, I'm currently in a collab with some other great YouTubers. It's Fiber Fun with Olivia, Connie's Crafting Corner, the Happy Crafty Homemaker, and No Catchy Name Crochet. And this is the Sweater Make-Along 2023, and it is going all year, and this has been a lot of fun. And this collab is actually what helped put my YouTube channel up over the 1,000 subscriber mark. So I'm so grateful to be in this group of women and working on this fun collab. I am the queen of whips, and I'm sure we all kind of feel that way sometimes, but juggling what I want to crochet, and sometimes you need a smaller project as a break from a bigger one, and sometimes we're testing stuff out. It kind of makes it so I don't always know what my content is going to be next on YouTube. I always have kind of a general idea, but it's never set in stone. So I have a lot of variety on my channel. There are a lot of finished object videos where I go over the type of yarn I used and review that, and also the patterns that I used. At this point, I'm not creating a lot of my own patterns, and the few that I am producing are very simple. But I do plan to expand on that and throw them up on Ravelry as free downloads, just as kind of an extra thing to do and to get more practice at that. But I have some yarn hauls that I occasionally do, or maybe a store walkthrough, and different collabs, like I said, with different other YouTubers that kind of go in different directions as well. The very first project I did was a small pumpkin, and it was from a tutorial from the late Melanie Ham, and I really enjoyed her videos. I thought they were very informative, and she was really kind of one of those YouTube DIY crafting pioneers. So it is a shame that she did pass away so young, and we don't get to enjoy her content as much. But that pumpkin was really the project that kind of helped get me started. As I said, my friend Jeanette, my crochet tutor, had helped me out with a lot of the basics. She gave me assignments, your chain, your single crochet, double crochet, and had me do a washcloth, and she just kind of walked me through those beginning things. And that pumpkin was super easy because at the time I'm recording this, I can't remember if it was done in single crochet or half double crochets. And then you flipped it over and did the next row the same, but in the back loop to create the ridges, and you cinched up the top and the bottom of the pumpkin. A very easy beginner project, but it was so cute and it was so fun. And I am one of those pumpkin people in the fall, so it was a great project to get me excited, and I went a little bit pumpkin crazy and started making them in like every color that doesn't even occur in nature and giving them to all of my friends. So that's kind of the first real project I did. The next thing I did was also pumpkin related. I had seen a garland on Instagram, and it was pie slices, and I just kind of made it up as I went, based off of this picture. And it had like the little whipped topping dollops and the crust, and I think I may end up redoing it because knowing what I know now, I know I could make it a lot higher quality, but I kind of want to keep it just for sentimental value because I was so proud of it and so excited when I was done. I went on to doing some blankets. The granny square, like a granny to infinity, was kind of the next step I went on because it was an easy segue and doesn't involve a lot of counting, just, easy. So blankets, and I've only recently gotten more into wearables. I was doing a lot of hats and a lot of ear warmers, which technically are wearables, but I don't really put it in that same category. So, as these years have gone by, I have branched out more with the types of yarn I'm using and the different weights. I would say, I really like a good 6-weight yarn. And not so much into the blanket yarns, but I like that thick, bulky 6-weight. And I just like that because the projects work up quickly. It's easy on my hands. But I have actually recently done a couple projects with 2-weight yarn and then a fingering roving style yarn. And I was really, really surprised how much I enjoyed that. Of course, the project took a little longer. It was a virus shawl, and I do have a video devoted to that. But it really made me think twice that I shouldn't just automatically rule out those fine weight yarns. So if I am able to make it to the annual Hobby Lobby yarn clearance, I will actually be looking for some of those finer weights where in the past few years I have totally just overlooked them. My favorite hook size is a 8.5 millimeter. And again, it's just because it feels good in my hand. It doesn't obviously work with all of the yarns. And I don't have a favorite brand of crochet hook. I do hold mine in the knife style, not the pencil style. And I feel like I kind of choked the hook. Like my hand is way up there. So I do have like a wooden furls style crochet hook. It is not an actual furls. But I don't know. I just feel like for as high up or as close to the hook as I hold it, I don't know if that style works for me or not. I'm still looking for that perfect hook. And then as far as yarn stores go, I mentioned earlier that I live very rurally. So I've never been to a local yarn shop before. I would like to. I did look online and there is one about an hour away from me. So I'm going to make it a point probably this spring or summer when the weather's nicer to make it down there. But in person, I would say that I would prefer Hobby Lobby the best, just because I like going and I know every other week, or I just look online to see if the yarn is on sale, and I know that all of them are going to be on sale if they're on sale. They have a really good variety of different types of yarns as well, and they keep it really fresh and well stocked and pretty organized. So favorite in-person yarn store is Hobby Lobby. Online, I do a lot of shopping at Joann's just because of the ease of use. I think the app is easy to use, and they generally have coupons to get reduced shipping, and they generally have decent discounts and sales. I've had a couple opportunities to get some phenomenal deals. I have a video on my channel. It's the most popular one on my channel where I was able to get skeins of Super Saver Ombre for just $4 each. So, like I said, that's all because of pairing, the store sales with coupons on the app. But I also really like the Hirschner's online store. They have an in-person store in Wisconsin. I've never been to it. Erin, Crafting Kitty, did tell me that it is amazing. But Hirschner's online they have a huge yarn selection, and their house brand, their private labeled ones, the Hirschner's brand, all are a very good value. And I'm not familiar with the Hirschner's of old, where some of the yarns have been real scratchy. I do have some of the Afghan yarns, the older ones that I was gifted from my crochet tutor, and they are pretty scratchy. That's why she didn't like them. But I have been using the new Hirschner's Afghan yarn. It's a 2-weight yarn, and I'm currently using it in my temperature blanket project, and it is really delightful. It is so soft, and it's so nice on your hands. It just glides through there. It works up really well. It's not snaggy. And it is like $1.99 for a ball. So a great value. So again, I really love Hirschner's as well. I'm not going to bore you with any more details about me or my channel, but I wanted to take this opportunity as a great introduction so you know what to expect from me, the podcast, my channel, just the brand in general. And I would encourage you, if you think this is your type of thing, to go ahead and start following this podcast on whatever platform you follow podcasts on. And please also feel free to leave me a voice message so I can get your feedback from that. And I hope you stay tuned. My very next episode is going to be about the time that I won giant boxes of Ogo yarn from Yarnspirations in an Instagram contest. Thanks for talking yarn with me.